They gather courage and try it too. So they rave about how good the dish was. Then Hiraku decides they'll start growing rice plants, thus gathering the elves to teach them how to cultivate it and giving them more work. With it, they raise a whole rice field, and the almighty tool makes it grow too fast. Now they must harvest it all. But thanks to them, it went fast. Now, today he'll make the best side for any meal. Yes, truly legendary rice. He dives into painstaking work with sheer patience, earning the first grains. Suddenly, Ant and Lou ask if he's finished already, but he says the key part is missing, serving it. Then they finally get properly cooked rice, and rather than taste it plain, he turns it into fish-filled rice balls. Way too good, and the plating looks slick. He quickly offers some to both of them, but when he turns, he sees none left. The thieving elf girls ate them all, leaving our hero only one rice grain. He cooks it, leaves him nothing. Poor guy. After rice harvest, they magically clean, posing wildly. Then we see our boy, who cleans himself with a small cloth. Yes, he keeps thinking that right now he'd love a bathtub to sink into and unwind. Oh yes, Hiraku already knows today's plan for sure. Then he tells the others they'll build a tub. Not any tub, the biggest and coolest. Above all, comfy with hot water. He lays out his slick plan. So they go to work. But he wonders if dumping bathroom wastewater is okay. Then Andy stops him. She explains slimes, creatures that eat waste products. They also consume dead organic matter and clean it up too. No sooner does she say it than she brings some. They install them in the wastewater area. Then she decides to drop them right in the toilet. Yeah, it's gross for anyone and scares Hiraku, because he thinks he's not brave enough at all to poop atop a slime's head. Sure, to them it's like we dropped dessert from above. Anyway, still it sounds pretty twisted. So he grows mushrooms he found, forgetting the bathroom issue. Later, at Leah's request, he shows the girls how to use it properly. Briefly, undress, rinse, wash, then step into the tub. Yes, so far it's clear to everyone watching. Still, the girls pile in at once. Our hero seems uneasy. He tries to leave, but Lou stops him. And then Tia explains that this way they won't have to heat the water again, to which Hiraku says it would have been better to build a separate bathroom just for men. But Lou stops him. So it's basically a private bathroom just for him, since he's the only guy. Next day, our hero sees his mushroom farm worked out perfectly. Then dogs arrive with 5 elves. Their names all start with Law. Knowing the elves are workaholics, Hiraku quickly lets them stay and exploits them, working for free. Then he decides to expand the house too. Right then, Leah yells we must start working and having kids. She blurts it out. It obviously alarms our hero. But then we change perspective. Now seeing the dog Koro, who has memories of when he was the most powerful of his pack and met a female he couldn't defeat. He had children with her, but one day the forest's warrior King Bear attacked them, leaving them alive. He had hurt badly and too drained to hunt. That's how they arrived in the middle of this forest, where they met a weak human who seemed to have a legendary tool with unlimited power. Yes, that day they met Hiraku, who shared his catch, a huge boar, and gave them a home and food for the family too. And so he and his partner chose him as their master. Even today he still hasn't noticed they're actually not dogs but hell's dreadful wolves. Anyway, their Kuro fondly remembers the day Hiraku gave each of them names, as he watched his master's pack expand with so many females. He thought Hiraku was no mere human, but the world's strongest stallion, above all others. Yet, Kuro held him in high regard. Next day, we see they finally finished the huge house. Likewise, we are shown a small flashback in which we see Leah encouraging our protagonist to keep digging. Yes, she didn't even help poor Hiraku. Anyway, that's it. Flashback over. Entering the house, we saw premium plus a basement included, outdoor stoves for REINCARNATES, and tons of rooms too. He enters through a bolted door and spots a double bed. Yeah, a blatant hint for our guy, but he wisely plays dumb. He steps outside to set up dog statues, then uses only what he's got to cook tastier curry. He also finds Lou and Tia there, who hesitantly ask him how it's made, to which he explains that you add roe to the pot and cook it. Hearing that, Girls think he means Lou. Back off calling him savage. They thought they'd cook Lou. Now in the fields, he handpicks curry spices. Cumin first, then turmeric, and others too. But there, cilantro most excites the dogs. But when they get closer and sniff it, they bolt away. Tia and Lou realize Plant can drive off hell wolves and go study it more, leaving our boy alone. With everything set, he heads to the stoves to cook legendary rich curry right away, with Leah's help, because the other two are making a cilantro magic charm to ward off hell wolves. Yeah, they're still badly traumatized too. Anyway, while he cooks, other slimes and the dogs notice him too. His way of frying meat grabs everyone's attention right then. Even when things go well, it won't stay this way. Haraku shouts he forgot the naan. She asks, "What's that, then?" And yes, for you, dear listener, naan is India's flatbread. But our guy goes a bit nuts, debating making it with rice, then regrets, so he kneads again with a rolling pin, laying it over the pot. After that great prep, we finally have legendary curry at last. He tries it first. When others see, they crave it and try it too. Meanwhile, separately, Lou and Tia test their cilantro theory, scaring the poor dogs. Anyway, back to our hero. As usual, he leaves our dark-haired guy with no food again still. So he has to scrape the pot with his naan. Yep, our guy's super humble. He's glad everyone liked it, but he's still hungry right now. But soon winter nears. So our boy visits Sabutin, trading potatoes for extra sheets to survive the bitter frost ahead. Suddenly he meets Leah, securing the forge. There, they congratulate each other on the great work they've done so far. Then, our black-haired guy makes some boxes where he will put vegetables, covering them with sheets and then snow to preserve them. He watches Lou and Aunt Tia magically stock food for winter. But when she spots the hell wolves, she panics at once and hurls the food at the dogs. Most get meat. The sleepy last gets the board. Yeah, unlucky. Haraku right then tries magic, but it fails. So seeing the others again makes him feel a bit disappointed. Then, at nightfall, Lou explains to him how it works. He's told even magic needs study, which frustrates him. Now he feels a bit worse. Again, too, he tells himself others do wonders and he only gardens and cooks. The vampire won't allow it, cheering him, saying he's humble, strongest. That lifts our warrior's pride. Next day he gets to work, making games like Reversi, plus chess and mahjong sets, from scratch. So they stay inside the house, since outside everything is getting covered in snow. By the Reversi rules he describes, you play with black and white discs. If you trap an opponent disc between two of yours, it flips to your color. Game ends when the board is full. Most pieces wins. Yeah, sounds tricky, but not for these two. They're ready to battle right here. Head to head now. Lou's losing in a rage and sweeps the board. Tia magics everything back. Then that nasty elf dumps it again. Tia sets it right again. Yeah, Lou really can't lose. So Haraku watches the slimes play calmly out in the woods there. And Kuro helps one. And the advice he gives on where to place the piece turns out to be a damn good move. Surprising not only the elf, but our protagonist as well. Anyway, farther back, two dogs played chess and knew the rules well. They stared each other down. After a while, one eventually just wins. Lou steps up to challenge him, but he humiliates her. She slumps, head down, in a corner. Up later, our guy, Ian, Leah, and Kuro play wild mahjong. Kuro surprisingly wins Yakuman. That leaves our black-haired guy sad as he joins Lou. But yes, Kuro is number one at it. Now the top mahjong player in this group. So our hero sets up a bowling game, only to be humiliated by the vampire. And that's how they spent the entire winter. Because after a lot of hard work comes rest and fun. Spring's here, but Haraku keeps working when an alarm blares. He sees something huge coming. A dragon? No, a wyvern instead, which lets out a tremendous roar that leaves everyone stunned. But then the wretched thing attacks with a huge fireball. So Tia and Lou create a magic barrier that fails to contain it completely, burning parts of the crops. So the slimes take care of that. Meanwhile, our manly protagonist, with the help of the legendary Triple S tool, creates a spear which he throws at the wyvern with all his strength. It's off, but they shatter. A wing gets hit hard. Yep, Our Hiraku's insanely strong, for sure. But just then, his tool returns to him as if it were a boomerang. And so our protagonist takes advantage again to finally end the wyvern's life. Now he proves he's the village's strongest for all to see. He even stuns the waifus. Nature's rule, he eats them. I mean wyvern meat, which our dark-haired guy turned into steak. Powerful, and a chef too, leaving them spellbound. But then Lou asks Tia if he would have been able to stop the spear, to which he obviously replies that it would be impossible, thus worrying and scaring our vampire. They just congratulate and thank Hiraku. Meanwhile, another panel shifts to Galgardo, Demon Realm, inside the Demon King's castle. Well, here, 3 of the 4 Demon King's generals found out about the wyvern's death, becoming extremely astonished, since not even they could easily finish one off. According to reports, the wyvern was hit from the ground and killed in 2 blows. That riles one of them up. He knows hardly anyone could ever pull that off. But as the Demon King's generals, they know they must handle this situation to prevent fear and panic from spreading among their citizens. Then someone has a great idea. Quit! Yes. Said and done. He leaves. Meanwhile, in Dream's lair, Guardian Dragons, a high-ranking dragon, asks his companion Rubio if he would be able to withstand that attack, referring to himself. He says you'd likely die, cleanly skewered, so attacking would be stupid. Yeah, our protagonist is completely overpowered right now. Anyway, back to him. He finally chooses to brew alcohol, thrilling the elves. So production starts now, or rather, the grind. Hiraku gathers the grapes, makes her stomp them, and squeezes the juice into barrels, a scene your weird fetish friend would adore. But seeing that they can't keep their balance, they have the wonderful idea of singing to keep the rhythm. And that's how they begin to extract the grape juice with a very catchy song that even Sabuton dances to, moving from side to side. Then our guy also joins in against his will. And that's how after a while, they finally manage to gather 16 barrels. Elsewhere, we see God's daughter, the agriculture goddess, rebuking him for punishing an innocent man's soul. And worse, trying to fix it in secret. He accidentally sent him to the forest of death, gave him a replica of the holy spear grind, known to drain his user's life force. But since God gave Hiraku a truly healthy body, he recovers super fast. But then she complains again. The statue meant to be her looks like an old man. Yeah, Hiraku totally blew it. So his daughter punishes him to sit there for 300 years. Yeah, right. What a lovely bond between them two. Anyway, we're back with our hero, who meets, out of nowhere, an intruder the dogs caught. It's Lou's kid sister. She's introduced as Flora. She asks her little brother for help, calling him Nichin. After being saved, she says she was following Lou the whole time, because she was being chased by an infamous black-hearted angel, and that's why she decided to follow her. To which Tia stares at her intently and coldly. Who says I have a black heart? It scares our little vampire, who still can't really believe Hiraku married her sister at all. Upon hearing that, Kuro quickly gives her a cold stare. Meanwhile, Lou tells her that he was the one who tamed the wild beasts, and that he even killed a wyvern. With that, the little one kneels, humbly apologizing for her behavior. Hiraku asks Kuro if he's really a wolf, so it howls, trying to say it's infernal. Since he doesn't get it, Kuro proves it, tossing a fireball, leaving Hiraku stunned flat. Later, the dark-haired man invites his sister-in-law to dinner to apologize for what his dogs did, amazing her with a truly feast. So she pulls out her notepad to jot more research notes, just like her big sister, Lou. Next day, the little one leaves to start packing for the move right away. And so time passes, and after a month, the crazy girl returns with her whole gang of maids and animals like cows. This instantly grabs our hero. More milk for him now. Meanwhile, Tia says vampires and other races are already plenty here now, compared to the angels. She's alone. Then she leaves and later returns with 3 angel subordinates. And there are lizardmen and a chicken. Our kid asks if it breathes fire. He's baffled by this world stuff. All of it. Seriously. She says it's only a normal hen that lays eggs. Hiraku thanks her. Civilization advances even more quickly now. At the same time, he gives a great tutorial on cooking methods to the maids, who belong to a race of ogres, serving a dish made of killer rabbit meat and aromatic vegetables, which does look appetizing until you notice the legs. Yes, what a presentation. After that, the angels Tia brought are in charge of watching and patrolling the area as security. Meanwhile, The lizardmen handle all the outdoor labor that requires strength. He ties a red bandana on the leader, Dada, to tell them apart, since they all look alike. Then our black-haired guy wonders how many are in the village now. He realizes there are plenty. Then he's drawn to more elves roaming the woods. All women, of course, right now. And she explains to our boy that during the war all the men were wiped out, so none survive. However, they could be born right now. And so everyone looks at our protagonist. Yeah. Not a hint. Straight up, Varaku acts clueless. Plays dumb. Or black-haired guy. Poor thing. They want to drain his soul. And more. And so after a few days, he gathers all the representatives, saying that because of the number of people they are now, he has decided to give this place a name. Then Sabutin points at the door. Our boy opens it, sees the tree there, and thus names the village Great Tree Town. To celebrate, he throws a big party with their first wine batch. Meanwhile, an elf calls our hero the town mayor, officially, starting today. And upon hearing all that, everyone else supports her and goes along with it. And so now our boy is named mayor, the highest authority of this town. So, the roster of races begins right here. Men, lizard folk, maids. Hours later, all calms. Tia softly taps our dark-haired boy, calls him. They toast, and Luce joins too. Naraku sees everyone, vows to work hard as mayor. Next day, all do chores. When out of nowhere, one of the angels informs our protagonist that a messenger from the demon kingdom has arrived. Now, introducing this character is Bissell, who gives him a gift to commemorate their meeting and mentions that he would like to discuss the situation of this settlement. Since, let's remember, this forest belongs to the demon king. So the boy says if he may live on this land, he'll pay taxes with his harvest each year as his land tax. The rate would be 10%, adding they must collect it each year before winter starts. Though it feels steep to him, he agrees anyway, and they move on to paperwork at once. However, the document says only crops are delivered, excluding their milk, honey, or alcohol. If they want those, they pay separately. Yet, our mayor's sharp. Business is business. After the Bissell deal, he leaves, but first takes our kid's gift too. After leaving, he asks the girls if he did okay. They praise his kind handling of it, and that not only did they receive the all-powerful medicine, but also the protection of the Demon King himself for a royal tax of less than 10%. He tells our hero deals settle around 50 to 60%. Luckily, Varaku's plan worked out really great overall. Meanwhile, in the Demon Castle, the generals discuss it. They're shocked anyone submits to their army so easily, despite their own immense power. So Randon says there must be a hidden motive. Bissell admits he had to accept the terms, because the vampire princess, our Lucy, was right there with him, as well as the angel of annihilation Tia. But not only that, he also had an army of high elves, in addition to a pack of infernal wolves and the trio of killer angels. Hearing that scares them shitless, but Grotz opens the gift, apples, and he finds them very tasty too. At that moment, Bissell notices that the cloth is made by a great demon spider, which is of the same race that faced the previous demon king. Learning that, Brandon quits again, fleeing place like a total coward. Back to our hero. He's invited by Drain, dragon leader, and a blonde man, who hand our mayor a gift. Turns out to be a pricey, high-rank sword. Then the dark-haired guy asks why they came, and so they tell them that they live to the south of them, but even though it's far, they consider them their neighbors and came to make a formal greeting. So our boy invites them in, but because of their size it seems difficult. But then we see the dragon standing up is much larger than our Hiraku's house. But he quickly changes size, now taking the form of a human, and nervously introduces himself again. Inside the cabin, they offer food and booze. The booze charms Drain. Then we see him clearly drunk at once, and that Alice's even almost transformed inside the house that they had worked so hard to build. But luckily, the blonde guy stops him there. They say goodbye. Our hero first gives a gift. Delicious, one-of-a-kind apples. Once they're gone, it moves on. It's that our boy is thinking about how they are going to deal with visitors, whether they are welcome or not, thus deciding to build a guest cabin for visitors with a capacity for 4 people. But then the other girls and the others recommend that it be for 30 people instead. Then they handle diplomacy, deciding the protocol for welcoming new visitors when they arrive right away, in which they name Grand Maria and the angels as those defending the perimeter and guiding visitors. while the lizardman would prepare for battle in case Zabuton strikes the board as a sign of a threat. But if he rings the bell, it means it's a welcome. Visitors were welcomed by Lou, hero, plus elves, lizard folk, orcs,